Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, yesterday, opening day turned to snopening day. 5 inches of snow hit Yankee Stadium on the field and in the stands, and they had to cancel the game and move it to today. And it's raining today, but it has slowed down just a bit. Moments ago, they removed the tarp, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first of 2 from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees split the first 4 games in Toronto. Now a 2-game set against the Rays. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this one, and it is brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. The rookie, Jordan Montgomery, gets the opening day nod. He had a good rookie season last year, and Chris Archer will get the start for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's already pitched the game. That was against the Red Sox.
Yes, and he's a good one. He brings his A game against the Yankees, a power repertoire, a hard fastball in the mid-90s, and a really devastating slider. Chris Archer brings it. You can book him for 200 innings and 200-plus Ks. And on the other end, what a rookie season for Jordan Montgomery. Kind of flew under the radar. I think of all the rookies who started last year, Jordan Montgomery was at or near the top of the list, looking to build on that this year.
And he's looking to build on what the other starters did in Toronto. The starters did their job, 2-0. They pitched 20 and 2/3 innings. They allowed just 3 earned runs and 1 home run allowed. It was the bullpen that stumbled, 0-2 in that series. And in 13 and 1/3 innings, they allowed 11 earned runs and 4 home runs. So they'll try to get back on track in this series as the home season opens today. Well, we are moving closer to baseball. Those two are moving closer to the stadium. Whatever the case may be, you're going to watch the game. That's coming up very shortly right here on Yes. Dunkin' Go-Tos are here. 2 breakfast sandwiches for $2, $3, or $5. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. By Koch Industries. At Koch, we make things that make the world better. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And by Planet Fitness, the world judges. We don't. Be free. Well, that maneuver right there helps the field drain, and great drainage system underneath this field, so we're hoping that there is not a problem with the snow yesterday and the rain today. But David, the grounds crew got the tarp off quickly, and the field looks like it's ready to play.
It is remarkable, from 6 inches of snow yesterday to all the rain today, that we are even able to get out there and play baseball as a tribute to Dan Cunningham and his crew.
Well, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's 42 degrees, so Mariano Rivera here in the Bronx. 9 miles per hour is the wind. Humidity is 84%. The forecast is for continuing showers, and it is somewhat foggy, so it's not one of those prototypical beautiful sun-shining opening days. And in fact, some of the pomp and circumstance of opening day has kind of been taken away because of the inclement weather. They did not announce the teams and the lineups, which is a big part for each player and the manager, Aaron Boone. They did not do that before this game.
Yeah, especially to introduce some of the new players, namely Giancarlo Stanton. Would have been nice to see the ovation that he would have received today after that debut that he had in Toronto. But hey, at least they're out there, and we're gonna play baseball.
And Aaron Boone brings up the lineup card here at Yankee Stadium for the first time. He had 4 games in Toronto, and Kevin Cash, the 40-year-old manager in his 4th season with the Tampa Bay Rays, he brings out in the lineup going to be canceled, but I think everybody's a little bit surprised that we are going to play baseball here. The forecast, as we mentioned, not perfect, but when you start the season as early as you do, you're going to roll the dice on this. The Mets opened at home last Thursday, and it was beautiful. And yesterday there was snow, so you just never know when you're going to get late March and early April.
And the players who play in New York know this, who have experienced this before. I remember back to 1996, watching Andy Pettis start on opening day at the old stadium, and snow drifting in front of his cap, and that Andy Pettit stare at home plate and his glove in front of his face, trying to shield from the snowflakes.
You wonder what's going through Giancarlo Stanton's mind. He played a couple of games here with the Marlins. He said he does not remember being treated badly. People didn't shout at him from the stands, but now he's one of theirs, and I think they're going to show him some love when he comes up to the plate for the first time in the first inning.
Yes, and also in left field. He's going to have to navigate left field, and we all know how tough left field is in Yankee Stadium and a wet turf, so quite a challenge for Giancarlo Stanton to not only play his first game at Yankee Stadium, but to be out in the field and play left field.
And it comes down to necessity. With the injuries to the Yankee outfielders, they really don't have much maneuverability. I guess they could have played Judge in center. Gardner would be in left, and then Stanton would be in his more natural right field. But the way you do this now, you make one person kind of play out of position.
That's exactly right, Michael. And this is what you have to do, like you said, by necessity. And you're going to have to play Mike Stanton in the outfield in interleague play and in the potential World Series matchup on the road. So, hey, we're going to find out early and often here on this Yankee outfield alignment.
And during the early press conference that he has every day, Aaron Boone kind of surprised everybody. They asked about Jacoby Ellsbury, who would be a perfect fit for this and would get an opportunity to win his center field job back. He said, well, we've shut him down for a little bit because his hip is bothering him. So it's amazing. Aaron Hicks, though, is feeling better, and he thinks he's closer to returning. And Clint Frazier doesn't have games to play in yet. His concussion symptoms are starting to subside, so we might be able to see him, but doesn't look like Ellsbury's close.
Yeah, the best laid plans, right, Michael? You thought you had so much outfield depth. What are you going to do with all these outfielders? There's not enough room, and all of a sudden, in the first week of the season, you don't have enough.
Well, they're waiting now because they did not introduce the teams. They did not introduce the lineups. Paul Olden actually announced the lineups to the crowd, but they didn't come out along the baselines. The first pitch of the opener is going to be thrown out by both Mickey Rivers and Bucky Dent. They were both honored with the Pride of the Yankee Award last night at the Yankee Welcome Home Dinner. And there's kind of a connection with those two and Aaron Boone. First of all, Aaron Boone and Bucky Dent share the same middle name in Boston. And Aaron Boone actually wears Mickey Rivers' number 17 that Mickey wore. So they're celebrating the 40th anniversary of that 78 comeback season, which is amazing that it's 40 years.
40 years. Wow. 1978. And the other connection is that Mickey Rivers is the one that picked out the bat for Bucky to swing in that fateful playoff game that day. And Bucky Rivers just barely cleared the green monster. And yeah, Mick still takes credit for that. He says he's the one. He's the one that gave Bucky that bat. So he still takes credit for it. And by all accounts, that's a true story.
An amazing story at that. So this year they're celebrating the 78 World Championship with these two gentlemen throwing out the first pitch. And then later on in the summer, David, you're going to be part of a celebration, the 20th anniversary of that amazing 1998 team.
Yes, 20 years, that hurts. That stings right now. But the further removed you get from it, and I know those guys feel the same way, that you appreciate it more, that they're still coming here 40 years later, going to be able to throw out the first pitch, and these Yankee fans will greet them warmly, and that's a lesson for these new players, and Stanton should know that well. It's a good lesson for him to learn that you do it here in New York. You are forever part of this family, and the fans will forever remember you.
And it's amazing, too, when you're on a team that wins a championship. We see it all the time, David, during Old Timers Day. It becomes a fraternity where you are brothers forever, and you pick up conversations that you hadn't had for years, but you pick them up in the exact right place, and you tell the same lies and the same exaggerations, but you become part of a fraternity that no one else could really join.
Yes, the lies get easier to tell over the years, but it is remarkable that you can go years without seeing your teammate, and then it takes about 5 minutes to catch up, and that's how it works in baseball. Everybody goes their own ways, and after your career's over or in the off season, but then when you reconnect, boy, it is just a delight. And you can tell by the looks on their faces right there. Bucky and Mickey are just thrilled to be in that dugout, to have that jacket on, to have those hats on, and to be remembered for what they did.
Now, during the Welcome Home Dinner, they were both giving a speech for winning the Pride of the Yankee Award, and both of them stood at the podium, and Bucky had his arm around Mickey, and that's the closeness. They both grew up in Miami, I think a year apart, and Bucky said, I watched Mickey play football, and he's my brother, and he said he'll always be my brother. And they talked about how Mickey Rivers once threw himself on the bullpen car because Goose Gossage was struggling, and he was in the car to come in to try to save a game, and Mickey started screaming, no, don't come in. But Mickey was a character. Boy, could he play.
He really could play. He was the spark plug for those teams back then. And when he went, the Yankees went. And, he's the guy that got on base. He's the guy that was a distraction on base, that got better pitches for the rest of the guys to hit.
Well, the New York Yankees of 2018, they're taking the field. Making the slow walk to the mound is the second-year player, Jordan Montgomery, and following closely behind, Bucky Dent on the left, Mickey Rivers on the right. Two members of the 1978 World Champion Yankee team. So Tyler Wade will receive one ball, and the other one will be Gary Sanchez. The first pitch is made, and we are going to inch closer to baseball. So Jordan Montgomery is about to... I'm sorry, that was Neil Walker. The Tyler Wade is at second. That was Neil Walker who received the pitch for Mickey Rivers. And again, with their arms around them, that's how close those two are. So as Montgomery does the warm-ups, we will in fact take a look at the Rays starting lineup. The Rays started off 1-3 in their series against the Red Sox, and this is the lineup put together by Kevin Cash. The third baseman is Matt Duffy. He'll lead off. The center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier, will bat second. He has good numbers in 54 games against the Yankees. Carlos Gomez in right field will hit third. Batting fourth, the first baseman, C.J. Cron. Wilson Ramos, the DH, is going to bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, Adeiny Echeverria. Jesus Sucre, the catcher, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base, Daniel Robertson. And the former Yankee left fielder, Rob Refsnyder, is going to bat ninth for the Rays.
And here is the lefty, Jordan Montgomery. And those numbers last year are solid across the board. Actually made 29 starts in that rookie campaign, a full year. 155 in the third innings and 51 against 104 on walks to strikeouts. And let's give you a little bit more and check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And that solid rookie campaign, he was sixth in the voting for Rookie of the Year. He also led all AL rookies in starts, strikeouts, and innings pitched. And he brings a balance to this rotation. Having that second lefty to go with Sabathia gives different looks to opposing lineups. I think that's really important. And the full Monty, well, that's about his full repertoire. He is a four-pitch pitcher, but he faces a lot of right-handed batters, and he worked on his changeup all spring long. He has admitted that that's a pitch that he's going to need to round out that repertoire and give him the full Monty, a four-pitch pitcher.
All right, so incredibly, we're going to play baseball here in the Bronx, which is good. And we're glad that you could join us. And you are in the warmth and dry nature of your home right now. So sit back and enjoy the next couple of hours as the Yankees take on the Rays in the home opener from the Bronx. Matt Duffy is ready. Jordan Montgomery is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is low and inside. We're underway. Home plate umpire is Mark Ripperberg. Joe West, the crew chief, will be the first base ump. Second base ump, Doug Eddings, and Marty Foster is at third. Popped up left side on the outfield grass is Gregorius. One away. Let's check out the Yankees defense presented by Geico. In the outfield, we told you about it. Yes, he's Giancarlo Stanton in left. Brett Gardner's in center, and Aaron Judge is over and right. In the infield, it's Brandon Drury, Didi Gregorius, Tyler Wade, and Neil Walker. That's third to first. Gary Sanchez is behind the plate, and on the mound, we detailed it's Jordan Montgomery. Here is Kevin Kiermaier. You can hear in the background the bleacher creatures with the roll call, and Neil Walker gets his first roll call here in the Bronx. He tipped his cap. Now Tyler Wade, the 0-1, and Tyler Wade gets tried out. 2 outs. As far as delays go, David, pitchers are creatures of habit. Players are. 15 minutes is not too bad. Not bad at all. That's kind of what Aaron Boone said when he was interviewed earlier in the day, that, you know, if we're going to play, we're going to be pretty close to game time, original game time. And, you know, they're true to order. They knew it. It's a little misty out, but certainly much better than it was earlier in the day. So here's Carlos Gomez. He was one of those late free agent signings The Rays signed him on March 3rd, right in the middle of spring training. There are still some players that still don't have jobs. Former Yankee Matt Holliday is one of them. Melky Cabrera is another. And there's a strike to Gomez.
You know, after trading Steven Souza Jr., which was wrapped up in the Yankee deal, obviously, as well, that he was the reaction. They signed him.
West said he did not go. Now, this is a different team than you remember, because the Rays could hit a lot of home runs. This is not that same team. They had 228 home runs last year, 6th in Major League Baseball. But they got rid of players that had 172 of the 228. Including the face of their franchise, Evan Longoria. It seems so strange watching the Rays without Evan Longoria. Homegrown player. These are some of the ex-Rays: Longoria, Logan Morrison, Steven Souza Jr., Corey Dickerson, and Jake Odorizzi.
Evan Longoria, also perennial Yankee killer.
2-2. Swing and a miss. That's a good first inning for Jordan Montgomery as he retires the Rays in order. 1-2-3. Rays nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Has to think about this Yankee lineup, and here's what Chris Archer has to think about, put together by manager Aaron Boone. Brett Gardner leads off. He'll play center. Aaron Judge in right. Giancarlo Stanton in left. Didi Gregorius will clean up the shortstop. Gary Sanchez will catch and bat 5th. Neil Walker at 1st, bat 6th, batting 7th. Brandon Drury had a very good series in Toronto. He'll play 3rd. Tyler Wade will play 2nd, and Tyler Austin had a 2-home-run game in Toronto. He's going to DH and bat 9th. So here is Chris Archer. And we'll give you his numbers and the scouting report in just a moment. Pitch is high. Made one start. That was against the Red Sox. 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. But he was outdueled by Chris Sale. Now, he was not supposed to start this game. It was going to be the bullpen day yesterday. But the rain out, or the snow out, allowed them to go to Archer and skip the bullpen day. Chopped slowly toward first. Cron flips. I tried to make the tag and did get him. And Gardner's out for the first out.
Well, let's go ahead and give you the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers on Chris Archer. He is really a durable starter. 3 straight 200-plus inning seasons that he had, and including last year where he made 34 starts, which tied for the league lead with Kevin Gausman of Baltimore. And you talk about a power arm. Struck out 249 Ks last year. That was 3rd in the league to Chris Sale and Corey Kluber. And, of course, Sevy was 4th on that list. And the Yankees bring out the best. In 17 career games started, he's had 14 quality starts.
Judge fouls it back to the screen, 0-1.
That's an 82% clip, Michael, for Chris Archer in quality start percentage against the Yankees. That's the highest since 1920. 2nd on that list is the great Pedro Martinez.
Judge did not hit a home run in the first 4 games. He had 3 hits, scored a run, and did not drive in a run. Also had a share of strikeouts. But he took his walks. Got a hit on Sunday. A couple of walks as well, so he was on base. Just looking for the power stroke. 52 home runs last year. And he swings and misses, and Judge down on strikes. And this will be Mike Stanton's introduction to the Bronx.
Giancarlo Stanton, number 27.
Started his career using one of his middle names, Mike, which I just used. And then a couple of years ago said, I want to be called Giancarlo. That is his actual first name.
Well, he is a drop the mic kind of a guy with this performance, so without a doubt, a big moment. No matter how long you've played until you put on the pinstripes. Felt an opening day like this, even with the rain. Well, this is a different animal for him, and you could tell that he is ready for it, and he wanted to be here.
Fly ball right field. Crone runs out of room on the right side. Well, when David said he wanted to be here, the Marlins actually had two separate trades, one with the Cardinals and one with the Giants. And when Stanton signed his monster 13-year contract, he just was unsure with Jeffrey Loria having broken up the team before whether or not he'd be traded. So he had a blanket, no trade clause. He could refuse a trade to anybody. So he said no to the Giants, and he said no to the Cardinals. And that's when Brian Cashman and the Yankees stepped forward, and he said yes to that one. We talked about this on the pregame. All during the spring, he seemed to be working exclusively taking the ball to right center. And he's so strong, David, that even if he mishits a ball, he could hit home runs here.
Yes. And from day one of spring training, the first batting practice session, you could see that that's what he had in mind.
Two-two. Still 2-2. Are you surprised, David, that Archer goes without sleeves on a day like this?
Yeah, he's still young. Circulation's still good. Maybe psychological.
And every other player on the Rays has the long sleeve undershirt. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Archer with a good first inning strikeout Judge and Stanton as the Yankees go down in order. We'll go to the second. 0-0 right here on Yes. Brought to you by Toyota. The Camry Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. If you have attended any of the Yankees home openers in the past, tell us your favorite memory. Here's one, watching Derek Jeter introduced for the final time 2014. Such an iconic sports figure and hero. To top it off, the Yankees won. C.J. Crone swings at the first pitch and skies it to center field. One pitch, one out as Gardner makes the play. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going.
Michael, you mentioned the fact that Jordan Montgomery had a solid rookie campaign. He told me that he believes he is capable of more and expects more here in 2018. One of the things that he thinks is different, he is much more confident. Last year, he described as a roller coaster ride. He'd feel good, then he'd have a bad game, get down in the dumps. And one of the biggest things he said that he learned is as a starting pitcher, you have to be even keeled out there with the good and the bad. And no matter what, you have to stick to your routine and keep your confidence if you want to succeed in this league. David, something you could probably relate to when you were a young pitcher in this league.
You constantly have to prove yourself, and you're right, Meredith. Jordan Montgomery had a good spring. And to me, Michael, already I could see a difference in Jordan Montgomery. Of course, it's a tough weather day for hitters. It's going to be tough to gauge, but already mixing in the changeup. The full repertoire is on display so far.
Yeah, he's raving about the fact that he has a changeup. You know, he didn't throw it a lot last year, worked on it a lot, and is really going to use it a lot. Last year he ranked second in rookie pitchers in the American League with 9 wins, third in ERA, first in innings, first in strikeouts.
It is so hard to develop young pitching, starting pitching for any organization, much less a lefty. So the value that the Yankees have here is very real. And I thought it was interesting Aaron Boone as well kind of named him the 5th starter halfway through spring to give him some confidence.
and knew by naming him the 5th starter that that was going to be opening day at the stadium, because they opened with 4 games in Toronto, and he felt that that would not be something that would rattle this kid. Three and 2 on Wilson Ramos, the DH. And Echeverria is on deck. And the 3-2. Grounded to short. Nice play by Gregorius. He sets and fires. Got him.
Well, a great pick and down to one knee to get it done. That ball was hit sharply. And Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. And of course, Didi Gregorius, one of the strongest arms of anybody in the game. Flat-footed, easily on the money with that throw.
Here's Adeiny Echeverria, the shortstop for the Rays. 1-0.
There was a video in the offseason that Didi posted on Twitter, and he was pitching a wiffle ball, and it was incredible. I mean, the ball was flying all over the place. Didi's one of the best wiffle ball pitchers I've ever seen, I think.
Could he have started Candlestick Park?
Absolutely. He'd be my #1 starter. If you get a chance, look it up. See if you can find that video that he posted of him throwing a wiffle ball on social media. It is incredible.
Popped up on the left side. Drury will make the play. 6 up, 6 down for Jordan Montgomery. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Defense presented by Geico. We've got Ref Snyder in left. One of the best center fielders out there is Kevin Kiermaier. Carlos Gomez in right. Duffy, Echeverria, who could pick it at short. Robertson at second. Crone is at first. Sucre behind the plate. You heard about Chris Archer on the mound. And here's that great wiffle ball player, Didi Gregorius, leading off the bottom of the second. And here's what David was talking about.
Wow, look at that movement. Incredible. Wow.
That's an exaggeration of the Greg Maddux pitch.
Really exaggeration. Mike Medman's incredible. He found that. I speak and he finds it in about 2 minutes.
Now, it's no secret, these are not optimal conditions to be playing a baseball game. If you took a look at the Yankee dugout right now, the top of the Yankee dugout, you can see the rain is starting to fall a little bit harder. Players have to deal with it as they're looking for the pitch. Sometimes it drips off the bill of the helmet. But at this level, they will continue to play through. One-two. That one is drilled to right field. On the run is Gomez. He can't play it. And he'll play it off the wall. Hustling for second is Gregorius. He gets himself a double.
Jumps all over this fastball, middle in. How many times have we seen Didi do this? Progressively so much better and quicker on the inner half of the plate. An excellent base running too, with Gomez in right, who has a strong arm. Didi turned it on and got in there.
So with that hit, Gregorius now hitting .333 in the early going. Here's Gary Sanchez. Didn't do much in Toronto. Pinch hit in Sunday's game. started the first three. And he takes a first pitch strike from Archer. Archer third in the American League last year with 249 strikeouts. Chris Sale was first. Corey Kluber was second. Stark difference from Archer's start in the big leagues against the Yankees to the last couple of years. His first 8 starts against the Yankees, he was 5-0, 1.78. His last 9 starts, 1-7, 4.13. High pop-up. Echeverria will make the play. 1 down. Also in the last 9 games, building on the numbers I just told you, he's allowed 9 home runs. In his first 8, just 1. And many people think that Archer is going to be prime trade bait if the Rays have a tough season. He's signed to a very team-friendly contract as a top-flight pitcher, and they could really get a lot back for him if they decide to trade him. Here's Neil Walker. And a strike.
Well, Archer's got 2 dominating pitches, Michael. I mean, a mid-90s fastball and a razor blade slider. He himself has talked about trying to cultivate that 3rd pitch and work in his changeup, and at times it's been pretty good, especially against left-handed batters.
One and one. Lights are on here at the stadium. No sign of the sun. Now, when I tell you team friendly, it's team friendly. This year and next year, he has those 2 years left on his deal. That's $14 million combined. Then the team has 2 options, team options. So you could get him at the age 31 season in 2020 for $9 million, and the age 32 season 2021 for $11 million. So he will command a lot if the Rays decide to say, okay, let's build up the farm system. 2-1. 2-2. And that's the case with teams that are smaller market. You have to take your chances, sign somebody early. That's what they did with Evan Longoria. And they really got him at a reduced price for many years of his career. And now when the big money's starting to kick in, they traded him to San Francisco. Two, 3-2.
You know, as starters go, Michael, those numbers really do jump off the page. And that's clearly undervalued for somebody who brings what Archer does to the table. You mentioned last year there were only 6 pitchers in the American League that reached the 200 inning mark. Archer's done it 3 years in a row.
3-2. Rounded foul. Rays pitchers pitch better at home than they do on the road. You see the strikeout list since 2015. He's 4th behind 3 pretty good pitchers. Last year, their home ERA was 3.50, 3rd best in the majors behind the Dodgers and the Indians. But the road ERA, 4.47, 13th in the major leagues. Walker works a walk.
can pitch in the American League East, you can pitch anywhere. It's like a golfer with a handicap, you know, that travels well. You got to pitch at Fenway, you got to pitch at Camden. American League East is a challenge.
Drury takes outside. Drury got off to a nice start in Toronto. Hit the ball hard, seemingly all the time, hitting .385 in the early going. David, in weather like this, is there anything that a pitcher can't do that he would normally do in terms of a pitch that he could throw that's field-based?
Generally, spinning the baseball, you know, is the one thing you look at. But clearly, the advantage is to the pitcher in this weather. You can see the hitters all bundled up. They have to react. The hitters are hot. They've had time to warm up. Their arms are loose. The ball's not going to carry very well. So far, it looks like both pitchers are getting decent spin on their breaking stuff. That'd be the one thing. Maybe a feel for a splitter or a changeup. It's a good time to pitch inside if you're a pitcher. And when you throw as hard as Archer does, I'd be throwing that inside corner fastball quite a bit today.
Three and one on Drury. You've got Gregorius at second and Walker at first. Tyler Wade is on deck.
In the early going, we've been so impressed with Drury's approach at home plate. Getting good pitches to hit, covering both corners, turning on inside pitches, driving the ball the other way.
Three-one. 3-2 as Phil Nevin moves out of the way, third base coach. And there's Reggie Willits, the first base coach. Well, will the Yankees send the runners 3-2 with one out? They do not. Driven deep to left field. Going back, Refsnyder on the run. He'll make the play. 2 away. Refsnyder got a good jump and ran it down for the second out.
Looked promising off the bat, but this is an example of the weather. Ball's not going to carry very well. Refsnyder had plenty of time, really. That ball kind of hung up. Yankee fans remember Rob Refsnyder trying to play second base. He was an outfielder in college. He's kind of settled into a utility role now, but probably more comfortable in the outfield.
Here's Tyler Wade. Refsnyder really shallow and left for Wade, who has some pop. And also Kiermaier, who can go get it with anybody, is shaded toward the left field side, and he's also shallow in center. Line drive, a base hit to right field. Gregorius rounds third. Gomez comes up throwing. Not in time. An RBI single for Wade, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
Good jump from Didi. And this looks like a changeup that stays up. Wade does a good job of staying on it just enough. A little bit off the end of the bat, but gets it elevated to the outfield grass. Gomez does have a good arm, but Didi had a great jump there. A nice job from Wade taking advantage of a high changeup.
Pitching coach Kyle Snyder goes out and talks with Archer. So used to seeing Jim Hickey come out of the dugout. He has rejoined Joe Madden with the Cubs. Here is Tyler Austin. Very interesting comment by Aaron Boone today. Boone was asked, is Austin just a placeholder till the injured guys come back? And he said, no, when opportunity knocks, you can kick the door in. He said, so this is his chance. Oh, 1.
Oh, it's nice to see, because Austin's been through his share of adversity and injuries. Who could forget his debut with Aaron Judge when they went back-to-back home runs in their first game here at Yankee Stadium a couple of years ago. But he has big power. He showed that in Toronto. 2 blasts and back-to-back at-bats for him that were well over 420 feet. Both of them 112 miles an hour off the bat. The first player in the StatCast era to do that, to hit 2 such baseballs in the same game.
Strike 3, Austin down looking. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits and 2 men left on base. We're going to the third. It's 1-0 Bombers. This Sunday, April 8th, when the Yankees take on the O's in an early season divisional matchup. It's calendar day, and the first 40,000 guests in attendance will receive a 2018 Yankees calendar courtesy of MasterCard. Now, for tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees Clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Oh, we go to the third. 1-0 Yankees. Sucre leads off, and there's a first pitch strike from Montgomery. Yankees made a roster move prior to today's game. They acquired the outfielder Trace Thompson off waivers from the Dodgers, and they transferred right-hander Ben Heller to the 60-day DL with a right elbow bone spur. Now, James could help me on this. I think Trace Thompson is Klay Thompson of Golden State's brother. Yep, he is. One, 2. 2-2. Punched out and off the glove of a diving Wade. Caroms into right toward Judge, so a base hit for Sucre, and that's the first base runner against Montgomery.
Sucre goes out and covers his fastball away. One hopper. Wade with the dive off the end of the glove. Good effort from Wade.
A little more info on Trace Thompson. 3 big league seasons. He spent 2015 with the White Sox and the last 2 years with the Dodgers. Played 151 games, 233 average, 19 home runs. Daniel Robertson takes a strike from Jordan Montgomery. It's going to be interesting to see how the Rays score runs. We told you how much power they lost, and they did something that has never been done before. They got rid of Logan Morrison with 38 home runs, Souza with 30, Dickerson with 27, and Longoria, who hit 20 last year. First team in big league history to lose 4 players off a roster that hit 20 or more home runs in a season. And it's, I don't want to say they're tanking, but it seems like they're hitting the reset button.
That's what, as you mentioned before, brought a lot of questions about who might be next, and Chris Archer would be at the top of that list. But they did add Gomez on a free agent deal.
They're also trying to get their stadium situation straightened out. They've picked out a site in Ybor City in Tampa. See if they get the funds and the clearance to do it. But the general feeling is it's tough to make it happen at Tropicana Field, which is somewhat antiquated, and it might be on the wrong side of the bay.
Well, there's no doubt when you talk about 2 franchises in Major League Baseball, the Rays or the Oakland A's for that matter, that the first thing you talk about is the venue. Commissioner Rob Manfred has talked about that, wanting to solve those issues.
2-2. 3-2.
It's actually been talk in Major League Baseball about potential expansion. Once again, Commissioner Manfred has said, not until we get these 2 venues and the issues with those 2 franchises solved first. Portland, Oregon mentioned as a potential future spot.
Montreal's waiting. 3-2. Popped up on the right side. Neil Walker runs out of room. Well, this is our first look at the stadium in 2018, and they have put up netting all the way down, really the right field line and the left field line to where the wall shoots out toward the corners. And teams are only required to have the netting to the outfield side of the dugout. The Yankees have certainly gone well beyond that. We were in Toronto, and they only had the netting to the outfield side of the dugout. There were a lot of seats that were exposed, so we'll see how the rest of baseball is responding. Now, all teams do have netting. It's just according to how long they want to go or how far down the line. (3-2), and Robertson works a walk. So first and second, nobody out, and that's going to bring up Ref Snyder.
From the side, borderline at best. Sanchez a good job of trying to frame it. And on the pitch cast, you could see at the last minute, just below the box.
So here's Ref Snyder. The Yankees are playing for the bunt in at the corners, not bunting. You can see Ref Snyder was popular with his minor league teammates because just being on the bus in Toronto, and all the young kids are talking, well, what did Ref do? What did he do in that series? So they were concerned, and they spent a lot of time in the minors with him, and they like him.
Strong relationships definitely coming up through. Aaron Judge, Tyler Wade, a lot of these kids, Jordan Montgomery.
0-2. The 0-2. Just missed inside. Crowd wanted it, and Montgomery wanted it.
Yeah, from the overhead cam, that's got plenty of plate. That easily could have been called a strike.
Looks like it should have been. It's in the box.
Umpires are supposed to have a bigger zone on a cold night, Michael.
Did you find, David, that umpires usually erred toward a ball on 0-2 and toward a strike on 3-0?
Undoubtedly, the count affects the strike zone, without a doubt. And also the way, which side of the plate. Most umpires will give you a little margin on the outside part of the plate, especially early in the count. But you're exactly right. It's a great point, Michael. And 0-2 is much harder to get a call than 2-0 or 3-1 or 3-0. And the inside corner, always tougher than the outside corner.
Punch towards second. There's one. That's all they'll get. Sucre moves to third.
Several good changeups from Montgomery so far. Another one there. Much improved from what we saw last year, and it's just too softly hit to turn.
One of my sticking points, David, and I want to get your read on it. Managers are so addicted to pitch counts for starters. Why would a starter ever waste an 0-2 punch? I mean, that was in the old days. Shouldn't you just go after somebody on 0-2 and not just automatically throw a ball?
Yeah, the days of 125 pitches for starters are gone. Thing of the past. So yes, the objective is to get 7 innings, around 100 pitches nowadays.
Top of the lineup, here's Matt Duffy outside. He had Achilles surgery in 2016, then needed a second procedure and missed all of last season. Some fans were skeptical about him missing the whole season. He said, if they roll their eyes when they hear my name, I don't blame them. I guess I'd do the same thing. Grounded to third. The throw is wide of Walker. A run will score. The runners will move up and they'll stay right there. So that's an error on Drury, and the game is tied at 1.
Well, unforced error, as you see. No real chance to turn it there, as Drury doesn't even think about going to second base. Automatically tries to whip it over to first, and not even close.
Think the weather might have anything to do with that?
It's easy to blame the weather. You can see guys all bundled up out there. It's hard to feel the baseball. It's the same for both sides.
I remember a couple of revolutions on the grass picking up moisture as well. But again, you have to make that play. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. 1-1 game, now second and third, 1 out.
I think you can see some sloppy games defensively in this type of weather. You were right, Michael. It's a point well taken.
Fly ball, center field. Tagging Refsnyder. Here's the throw from Gardner. Here's the play. He's out. A double play. 8-2 as the Yankees get out of further trouble. Look at the tag by Sanchez and a great throw by Gardner to end the inning. line. Good things come to those who go. Delta, keep climbing. Well, nice play on both ends. First from Gardner with the throw, and then a good tag on the short hop by Sanchez.
Well played by Gardner. Got a running start, all his momentum towards the plate, and very accurate. One hop, and no problem for Sanchez, right? Picking it and tagging. Yankee fans remember last postseason, a couple of short hops that Sanchez had trouble with. Not today.
I got a little lucky there because that was not that short a hop. He got a nice true hop. It didn't hit the mound, it hit the grass and came right to him, but he made the good tag.
Yeah, perfect throw from Gardner.
And Montgomery likes it. And just like that, you make the throw for the inning-ending double play, and you lead off the bottom of the third inning. So a 1-1 game on a rainy Tuesday here in New York City. Between innings, they added some drying agent to the mound and also around the plate.
So for Montgomery, the defense let him down and then picked him right up. And that's why you never show up your defensive players on the field if you're a pitcher. Just that fast. Gardner picked him right up.
So Gardner grounded out to first. That was in the first. And the reason that Archer's still warming is because they didn't allow him to throw as they were putting drying agent on the mound. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. So the top of the Yankee order, Gardner, Judge, and Stanton against Archer here in the bottom of the third inning. And there's a strike. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Gardner with a leadoff single.
Well, the good defensive play to end last inning and then leading off right back up the box. And Gardner came into that at bat, with not much to show, only hitting 111. That'll go up, but he's hit the ball hard several times, as we saw Michael up in Toronto as well.
Now, Judge struck out in the first inning. You see the 0 under the home run column, but to calm some that might have fear, he had 52 home runs last year, didn't have his first one until the 6th game. So this is game number 5. One and 0. Franchise record 33 home runs out of the 52 here at Yankee Stadium. Babe Ruth previously held the record with 32. Got a chance to meet his parents before the game today. Really lovely people, and they're locked in California watching all the games on Yes, but they made the trip east to be here for the home opener for their son. Two and one.
I'd like to shake their hand and say, job well done. What a gentleman.
Patty and Wayne Judge. Three and one. One final already today. Kansas City beat Detroit 1-0. And the game just underway in San Francisco. Mariners lead the Giants 4-0, bottom of the first. Everything else is at night.
Good pitch to hit there on 3-1 with Stanton on deck. This Judge lets the high slider go by. See if Archer comes back with it or tries to cross it up with another fastball.
There's a base hit to left center field. Gardner around second. He's going to third. The throw is cut off. Aggressive base running by Gardner. And it's first and third. Nobody out for Giancarlo Stanton.
Another slider. Judge is on this one. Excellent hitting and a great read by Gardner. No hesitation. Ref Snyder in left field. A wet turf. So the veteran Gardner knows what to do right here. Even with no outs, easily makes it into third.
And here's Giancarlo Stanton. We'll take a look at the Jeep Hitters Scouting Report.
Well, as Yankee fans know, if you tuned in, the big debut and the 2 bombs that he hit up in Toronto, saying hello to Yankee universe, and the power surge from last year, career highs, 59 homers and a .631 slugging average, and he's actually cut down on his Ks almost close to league average, Michael, just a little above league average in his K rate.
There's a strike to Stanton. Overall hit 281, 59 homers, 132 ribbies to win the NL MVP.
Almost struck out about 30% of all his plate appearances in 2016, all the way down to a little over 23% last year, 4th biggest decrease.
0-2.
So when you think about a guy who hit 59 home runs and at the same time cut down his strikeout rate by that much, boy, that's impressive.
One and two.
Archer's a strikeout pitcher. Definitely greedy right here. He wants the strikeout with nobody out.
Strike 3, Stanton down looking.
Well, Archer's very capable. He's as tough on right-handed batters as anybody. Paint. Slider over the top. Another slider on an 0-2. Crosses him up and paints the black with 94. Just a really good job by Archer. Stanton caught maybe sitting off speed, looking for a slider.
Here's Gregorius. He doubled and eventually scored in the second inning, scored the Yankees' only run. It's a 1-1 game. We're in the bottom of the third. So Archer is at 50 pitches. Drilled to right field. Is it high enough? Oh, yes. See ya. A 3-run home run for Gregorius. 4-1 Yanks.
But when the Yankees traded for Giancarlo Stanton, Didi Gregorius sent a text to Aaron Boone asking if he's still going to be the cleanup hitter. Maybe you have your answer now.
Here's Sanchez. And a strike.
Well, down and in. Archer misses his spot. Trying to go away, and Didi's so quick inside.
So 99.8 miles per hour velocity, exit velocity presented by Spectrum Internet with faster download speeds and better performance. Sanchez popped to short. That was in the second. So Gregorius with a 3-run blast breaks the 1-1 tie. High fly ball right field. Gomez for the second out. We know the type of player Didi is, but he is so popular in that room. His teammates really like him, and he's kind of a quiet leader. The young guys like him, the veterans, and he's now one of the veterans on a young team. They like him. He sends out his emoji tweet after every single game and has a little emoji for every single teammate. And he's just well liked. And production and personality usually team up to have somebody be liked. Neil Walker hits one through the left side for a base hit. So Walker with a walk and a single today.
And Michael, you're talking about how well liked Didi Gregorius is in that clubhouse. People say that they really credit him with keeping that clubhouse relaxed at times. If you look at him, there's always a smile on his face. And Didi has told me in the past, he plays his best when he is relaxed. So he's not one of those guys that's going to sit at his locker, be all uptight, and not have a smile on his face. He wants to make sure everybody around him is having a good time, reminding him we're playing the game of baseball. It should be fun.
And he is always smiling. 0-1 count on Drury.
He's really shown that clutch gene, too, over the last couple of years.
Well, that home run he had against the Twins in the wild card game, where the Yankees fell behind 3-0 and Severino was knocked out, that's about as big a home run as the Yankees had in the postseason. Energized the team, certainly energized the crowd. It was deafening in this ballpark when he hit that home run. Rounded to short. Echeverria goes the short way, and that will do it. Here in the third, the Yankees get 3 runs on 4 hits. The big blow off the bat of the cleanup hitter, the shortstop, Didi Gregorius, right down the line. And when it lands, it's 4-1 Yanks. Make it. Well, Montgomery has a 4-1 lead here at the home opener, and Carlos Gomez leads off. And a strike.
And another quality changeup from Montgomery today. 4 strikes.
Outing scoreboard, 4-1 Yanks. Two and one. Gomez struck out in the first inning. Count 2-2. Gomez, Crone, and Ramos. So the count is full, 3-2. As you know, you have to get through 4.5 to make it an official game, and with the inclement weather, that's something to note. And Gomez comes back to work a walk. Here's C.J. Cron. Cron was a first-round draft pick by the Angels in 2011. And this February traded to the Rays.
More of a platoon player with Anaheim for several years. His top home run season was 16, actually 16 home runs in 3 straight seasons from 2015 to 2017. Never more than 407 at-bats, though. The Rays might try to get him a full season to see what he can do from the power side.
Swing and a miss. Chased a pitch out of the zone. One away here in the 4th.
Well, 2 straight changeups. Here's another one just kind of fading away, and you see Cron way out in front, waves at it. And we talked about Jordan Montgomery and developing the full Monty, the full repertoire. He has made a constituted effort to really establish his changeup today, and it's been good. Thrown several. First pitch for strikes and finishing hitters off as well.
Oh and 1 on Ramos. Ramos grounded to short. That was in the 2nd. Montgomery retired the first 6 Rays that he faced. Then Sucre led off with a single in the 3rd. Robertson walked. Ref Snyder wrapped into a 4-6 fielder's choice. That put runners on 1st and 3rd. Then Matt Duffy hit a ground ball to Drury. The run was going to score anyway, and Drury threw the ball away. So it was 1-1 runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Kiermaier hits a medium-range fly ball to Gardner. Runner tags from 3rd. Gardner throws him out to end the inning and get him out of the threat. So that's the big play right now behind Montgomery. And Brett agrees. Yeah, that's the one.
You know, you don't really think of Brett Gardner as having one of the stronger throwing arms, but it's strong enough and one of the most accurate.
And Brett enjoys playing center field. When he was discussing in depth the position when they moved Aaron Judge there for that one game, he said, yeah, I prefer it. He said the ball comes straight at you, no weird angles. You don't have to worry about running into side walls. He said, yeah, center field is the easiest of the 3 outfield positions. Swing and a miss. Ramos down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Montgomery.
Oh, Montgomery's slider curveball combination was really good last year. Here's the curve. 81 miles an hour down, and that was on the heels of the previous pitch, which was a slider in the upper 80s. So that's what we saw last year. A really good slider curve combination. Now today he's mixing in the changeup, and that's the next step for Montgomery. So far, so good today.
There's a strike. And 2.
And Montgomery also, Michael, very hard to steal off of. Just a quick little slide step move to home. Similar to CC Sabathia, not much of a move to first base, but when you're that quick to home, you don't really need one. He gives Gary Sanchez every opportunity possible in the event of a stolen base. I was always jealous of Andy Pettitte and that great pickoff move he had. Jealous of left-handers in general, you know, because I was not very good at holding runners on. I gave up a lot of stolen bases. Sabathia probably has talked to Jordan Montgomery about that, and being around a guy like Sabathia helps every pitcher, but especially a young lefty like Montgomery.
There's a base hit to left field for Echeverria. Well, you bring up Andy Pettitte, and then we had the snow out yesterday. You got to look back at 1996. A classic game, the beginning of a championship season for the Yankees. Young Andy Pettitte. I think that's Joe West who's at first base in this game. And the snow fell throughout the game. Santa Claus was there, and the Yankees got themselves a win. You know what's amazing about you being jealous about left-handers? Essentially, you're left-handed except for the arm you throw with.
But that's true. Yes. In more ways than one. Pitchers are flaky in nature. So I tell John Flaherty, you know, it's a job of a catcher not only to call a good game, but to be a psychiatrist as well. You got to deal with so many different personalities on a pitching staff. And as a starting pitcher, when it's your day to pitch, it's your day. You know, you're the most important guy in the world that day, at least in your own mind. Catchers have to deal with that. Yankees with a big 3 spot in the bottom of the inning. Jordan Montgomery one pitch from getting out of this.
Grounded to Drury. He'll go to second, and that will do it. So far it's held up here in the Bronx. Yesterday it was all about snow. Snow-opening day wasn't to be. Today, so far it is. Palm of your hand. Stream Yankees baseball on Yes using Fox Sports Go, presented by T-Mobile. Bundled up against the elements here on opening day at the stadium, the home opener. Tyler Wade will lead off, and he bunts and bunts foul, like he was trying to push it. Had an RBI single to right field in the second inning. Audi scoreboard, 4-1 Yankees lead. They have 6 hits, Tampa Bay with 2. And Drury with a throwing error.
Talking to Tyler Wade, that's definitely something you're going to see a lot of. Him looking for opportunities to bunt for a hit. Now he's got the infield moving up too as well. He knows that's part of his game, especially he's already got 1 hit under his belt for the day, that RBI single in the second. Leading off here in the bottom of the 4th, trying to take advantage, and Archer threw the high fastball.
Two and 2. It'll be Wade, Austin, and Gardner. 8, 9, and 1 in the Yankees order against Chris Archer. Hard foul ball, 2-2. The Yankees are great throughout their history in home openers. 76-38 for a winning percentage of .667. Only the Orioles have a better home opener winning percentage, and they haven't been around as long as the Yankees. 44-21 the Orioles at .677. As Wade swings and misses.
Buried the slider down and in. This is why Archer is among the league leaders in strikeouts every year. When you throw as hard as he does in the mid-90s, it's so hard to lay off of that slider down with 2 strikes.
Austin pops it up on the right side. Crone gives it a look, makes the seats.
See, Archer's thrown well, Michael, just 2 mistakes. He got a changeup up to Tyler Wade for the first run and the base hit, and then he missed his location with Didi, trying to go away and left it on the inner half, and Didi lost it over the wall.
One and two. Staying warm in the dugout.
Yeah, Severino there.
.95 miles an hour with that fastball.
All pitchers think they can hit. You see pitchers on the bench goofing around. They all think they can hit. Look at him.
He'll get to prove it in Interleague or if they make the World Series.
He actually does swing the bat pretty well. I mean, Severino's a really good athlete. Staying loose on the bench. Miguel Andujar next to him. Didi Gregorius, of course, smiling and laughing.
Swing and a miss. Austin down on strikes. Well, Boone was looking forward to the home opener, and you know, a lot of family and friends were going to be here yesterday. He said the same contingent is here today except for one. His brother Brett, his son, plays baseball at Princeton, and he got on a train yesterday to come to the game, then found out it was canceled, postponed, and turned around and only missed one class. He said he couldn't make it today. But everybody else is here, including his dad, his wife and kids. He said, I don't look too far ahead. He said, but running out to that line and being introduced here and wearing the pinstripes would be pretty special. That was before he knew that they weren't going to have those ceremonies because of the weather. One 0.
Well, that's one of the underrated facets of coming to a new team, especially the Yankees. And it's no small thing, Michael, to move your family from Scottsdale, as Aaron Boone is planning on doing. Getting acclimated to New York, finding a place to live, maybe transferring your kids into school on the East Coast. A lot of moving parts for families of baseball players.
2-1 on Gardner. Gardner's 1 for 2, grounded to first, single to center, and scored on Gregorius' 3-run home run. Two and two. Swing and a miss. Archer in the 4th inning strikes out the side. Wade, Austin, Gardner. We go to the top of the 5th. Yankees lead 4-1. And it's first in every other major category. Carl Crawford is the leader in hits. It seemed like a little bit of an odd trade for the Giants. That they got older. GMC scoreboard 4-1 Yankees over Tampa Bay. And getting Longoria, you would think that Longoria's best years are certainly in his rearview mirror. And they took on a big contract with a lot of years left on it. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, along with McCutchen too from Pittsburgh,
yes.
Right? They really tried to retool, feeling like the farm system wasn't ready to kind of rebuild.
And that's a tough division. You got the Dodgers, you got the Diamondbacks, you've got the Rockies. Those are 3 really good teams right there. So the Giants are trying to get back into a playoff picture. They won 3 championships in 5 years, but they got old in a hurry. And then to start this season, they lose Madison Bumgarner.
Huge blow on the heels of his injury last year as well.
Three and 2 on Daniel Robertson as Montgomery has come back from 3-0. Check swing, did he go? No. Said Joe West, so Robertson works a walk.
Goes with a curveball on 3-2 in the dirt, and not even a question. Not even close to a check swing.
Seat on Yesmo, brought to you by your Tri-State Mercedes-Benz dealers. Here's Rob Refsnyder. Refsnyder played for the Yankees and the Blue Jays last year. 52 games at 170. So he's patiently working his way through the American League East.
The Yankee fans know he was a hot prospect and always known for his bat. And he developed such a good reputation, not only in college, playing in a couple of college World Series titles as well, but in the minor leagues. He really has a lot of scouts who have seen him hit, and that's why he keeps getting chances. Refsnyder hasn't shown it on the big league level yet, but gets another opportunity with the Rays. That would get me moving in the dugout right now too, Michael, when you see a pitcher coming up on 70 pitches and this kind of weather, struggling with the zone.
3-0.
You start thinking about the bullpen. It's not so much the pitch count, it's his first time out, but the weather can beat you down a little bit too. Extra concentration level, emotions of opening day.
Aaron Boone needs to get some innings out of his starters, because you cannot continue to try to get 15 outs out of the bullpen. It can't work that way.
Something that he mentioned in spring training too when we talked to him about that. He values innings from his starting rotation.
And Refsnyder walks. The starters have done the job now. Have they given them the length that they won it not necessarily in the first 4 games in Toronto. The starters 2-0, 20 and 2/3 innings. So you do the math, that's about 5 innings to start, 3 earned runs and 1 home run allowed. But the bullpen, which is a strength of this team, a strong part of this team, 0-2, 13 and a third innings pitched, a lot of runs and 4 home runs. So Larry Rothschild goes out and talks with Montgomery. Larry Rothschild was the original manager of the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays, 1998 to 2001. Never really had a good team, but kind of set the tone for the franchise.
Shows you how highly thought of he was as an ex-pitcher and a pitching coach to get a chance to be a manager. And there's the mound visit tally. It's like timeouts in basketball now. You got to keep track of the visits. I think you're going to see more guys like Rothschild and Bud Black get interviews to be a manager, because the pitching staff and the bullpen is so important in today's game. And for exactly the reason you said, starters get pulled earlier.
Duffy with the bunt foul. Hey, Aaron Boone has been very frank and said he's going to lean a lot on Rothschild. And look, the Mets went out and hired a manager who'd never managed before. A great pitching coach with the Indians, Mickey Callaway. And there'd always been a knock that pitchers didn't make great managers, catchers did. But Bud Black's been a good manager. Tommy Lasorda's in the Hall of Fame. Roger Craig was a good manager. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Just what Montgomery needed as Robertson moves to third.
It's a way to make your pitching coach look good. Come out and you get a little pep talk, and then boom, boom. 1 pitch and 2 outs. Tailor-made. Hit it to the right guy.
Here's Kiermaier. Kiermaier told our friend Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times that he's going to try something new today. He's going to cover his whole body in Vaseline as an extra layer against the wind. But he tweeted before the game that he forgot. He said, have my 2 undershirts and going Vaseline free. Print that, folks. Because a lot of people made a big deal out of him telling Topkin that. I actually do have a layer of Vaseline on under the suit. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give that a try, definitely. Gaylord Perry used to pitch like that for different reasons.
Yankees lead 4-1. We're in the top of the 5th, 1 out away from being an official game. There's a 2-game set scheduled for yesterday and then tomorrow at 1:05. Jonathan Holder is up. Three and one.
You know, Montgomery's mixed all his pitches in and run some deep counts and just missed here and there. A little bit of a tight strike zone for both guys behind home plate today. But has run some deep counts in pitch number 79 coming here with 2 outs in the 5th.
Three and two. Kiermaier has enjoyed success here at the stadium. 304, 5 home runs, 10 ribbies. Today he's 0 for 2. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Montgomery. And it is an official game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. The end of 4 1/2. We're halfway through. 4-1 Yanks. Refreshing finish.
It's a good-looking slider down and away. Actually, got a piece of it. And Gary Sanchez holding on. And all the talk of Gary Sanchez last year in the pass balls, he's been excellent so far this year. Montgomery several pitches down. He's blocked them all. That one, just a little bit of a foul tip, didn't hit the dirt, but Sanchez has worked hard. He's seen definite improvement this year on balls low and in the dirt.
GMC scoreboard 4-1. Yankees lead the Rays. It'll be Judge, Stanton, and Gregorius here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Archer struck out the side in the 4th. Shift is on for Judge. 3 infielders on the left side. Pitch outside, 1-0. Two and 0. Two one.
It's almost like you look at the shift nowadays, Michael. It's a great shot of it right there in our overhead cam. It's commonplace now. You know what I mean? We don't hardly mention it.
Yep.
Unless you go 4 outfielders, like Houston does now.
3-1.
But yeah, oh yeah, by the way, second baseman's on the other side. Yeah, big deal. And the outfield shading the other way, just the opposite.
And a walk to Judge. So here's Giancarlo Stanton. He has struck out twice. 2 home runs. That was in his first game. Oh and 1.
A little indecisive today. Fastball right down the middle, just not quite pulling the trigger with a little foul tip. Archer's got him caught in between. A little bit of guessing game. Looking for a slider, he gets the fastball.
There's a strike. Just clipped the outside corner, 0-2. Coming into this game, Stanton was 0 for 6 against Archer. Not a great sample size. 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts.
Archer shaking the fastball to get to another slider.
Good block by Sucre.
Yes, and he's thrown his best sliders to Stanton today.
Austin Pruitt was supposed to start the bullpen game yesterday.
Good swing there at a hanging slider. Stanton would want that one again. Archer lucky to get it back. It's right in his wheelhouse. Sometimes guys like Giancarlo Stanton get one pitch a day to hit, and that was it.
Swing and a miss. Archer winning the day against Stanton.
Well, we said all day Archer is a tough cookie to crack, and there was the one. Fastball down the middle, indecisive, check swing. Nasty slider down and away. Buries one. Hung one. That's the one you want back. And then fastball caught him sitting off speed. 95 miles an hour right on by above the belt.
So now 0 for 9 lifetime against Archer with 5 strikeouts. Here's Gregorius, the difference in this game, a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning as the Yankees lead 4-1. Didi doubled in the 2nd and scored, and then had that 3-run home run in the 3rd. All 6 hits that Didi has had this year, extra bases. And that's tied for the most in the majors with Xander Bogaerts and Charlie Blackmon. Runner on first, 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 4-1.
One of the few changeups we've seen from Archer right there. I think, Michael, that's probably the last step for Archer to take. You know, that next level to being truly elite. He's having another pitch for lefties. Lefties hit 263 off of him last year. Righties just 232. More importantly, a lot more base runners versus lefties too. His whip against left-handed batters last year, 1.40 versus 1.14 versus right-handed batters. So what that means is walks and hits per innings. Just a little harder putting away lefties. A little more base runners seem to get on when they're left-handed. And that 3rd pitch is what is needed usually.
Runner goes. Pitch is high. No throw. A stolen base for Judge. Nope, it was a walk. He was running on 3-1, and it was ball 4, so no stolen base for Judge, just a walk for Didi.
Archer's the type of pitcher Aaron Boone was talking about, splitting up the right-handers. This kind of guy, and you see Didi has made a difference in this case today.
Again, Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, talks with Archer. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So that conference is over. A walk to Judge, a walk to Gregorius, sandwiched around a strikeout of Stanton. 1st and 2nd, 1 man out for Gary Sanchez.
Now, you and I had that debate in spring training, split up the right-handers. I mean, when you've got Judge, Stanton, and this guy, Gary Sanchez, do you bat him back to back to back, or do you split them up? I think today is a case in point where Aaron Boone believes in splitting them up, and it's paid off. Sanchez comes up here now after the Gregorius walk with a chance to do damage.
There's a strike.
We thought that lefty would be Greg Bird, but Didi Gregorius fills the bill.
One and one.
Pitch number 94 from Archer coming. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
First start, 81 pitches in 6 innings against the Red Sox. 93 right now in the bottom of the 5th. 1-2. I don't know if you're feeling it, David. It feels like it's getting a little colder.
Yeah, it's definitely gusty. Still misty out. Just a damp, gusty, wet day. Makes it even tougher, I think, on pitchers. It just wears you down. A lot of really diehard fans here, though, that are happy to see baseball.
42 degrees. 91% humidity, 7 miles per hour is the wind. I think that's picking up a bit. 1-2. 2-2. That would taste good right now. Some hot popcorn. Right into your living room. Have a handful. Two. Hit sharply to third. There's one. There's two. You can't hit it harder, but he hit it right at Duffy. For an inning ending around the horn, 5-4-3 double play. Will go to the 6th. Yankees up by 3. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by NFL Experience, live action football attraction located in Times Square. By People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on all models. That looks good on a cold afternoon heading into evening here in New York City. And it's time for the Dunkin' Donuts go-to relief pitcher of the game. As Jordan Montgomery's day is done and Jonathan Holder's day is just beginning. And again, they're putting the grounds crew having the drying agent on the mound, and like most agents, it soaks up about 10%, but not really doesn't make it totally dry. What do you think of Montgomery, David?
I see what you did there, Michael. I see you. I thought Jordan Montgomery was very good today. He really came out, established all his pitches, had a good changeup as well. I mean, through the first 5 innings, he threw about 28% changeup of all his pitches. Kind of ran some deep counts that got him up a little bit, but made some big pitches when he had to. There's a lot to like about Jordan Montgomery from last year. I see improvement this year. The big lefty, I think, is poised to take the next step.
Well, if you're just getting home from work, well, the big inning in this one was the 3rd inning. Offensively, for the Rays, that 2nd and 3rd one out. A Kiermaier fly ball, and then a great throw by Gardner for the inning ending 8-2 double play. And then with 2 runners on, Didi Gregorius goes into the short porch. A 3-run home run, a curtain call, and a 4-1 Yankees lead. And that's where we stand right now as we start the 6th inning. Gardner, the only Yankee that does not, well, Gardner and Sanchez, both ends of that double play without the long sleeves. So now the Yankees will have to ask their bullpen to get 12 outs. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, Michael, that's why you're seeing Jonathan Holder in here. Try to fill in the extra few outs before you get to maybe a Chad Green or the more main pieces to the Yankee bullpen. So Jordan Montgomery only gave up 2 hits, 4 walks against 4 strikeouts.
And Gomez down.
Michael, Jonathan Holder was one of the last guys to make this team this spring, and while that was always his goal, he said it was something he tried not to think about, but admitted to me easier said than done. I asked him if there was a point in time this spring that he thought he was going to make this roster, and he smiled and said, yeah, when they told me I was on the team. In all seriousness, he had a great spring. He threw 10 innings, 7 appearances, had a 1.80 ERA, 11 strikes, and did not walk a batter. Aaron Boone said he deserves this opportunity. Now Jonathan Holder is hoping that he can show this team he belongs in the big leagues.
Tell you what, spring training is different for different people. CC Sabathia, the veteran pitchers, they don't have to worry about getting outs. But Jonathan Holder has to worry about getting outs. That one is driven out to right field. Judge back on the track at the wall, and it's going to go off the wall and carry him into right field. C.J. Cron picks up a double.
Well, C.J. Cron's got some pop in his bat. That's why the Rays brought him over here to try to replace some of those home runs that they gave up. And you see Aaron Judge is not going to get there. It was hit on the line. Fortunate that it was over on the top of the wall and not over the wall. And if it gets over his head, well, you know it was hit well.
Here's Ramos. 0 for 2. Ground ball is short and a strikeout. That one is ripped into left field, and Stanton will play it on a hop. Cron held up. And runners on first and third with 1 out.
First pitch breaking ball spinning right there. Ramos all over it.
So Jonathan being asked to live up to his last name, in a little bit of a trouble now. First and third with 1 man out for Echeverria. One and 0.
Jonathan Holder draws back even on a well-placed fastball. He's got a curveball and a slider. Curveball is probably the better of the two on his secondary offerings.
One and 2.
Couple of fastballs, gets him ahead in the count. His best chance to get a ground ball too is probably with the slider.
Fly ball right field coming on as Judge. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Cron will score. Moving to second is Ramos. Echeverria with an RBI single, and the Yankees now lead 4-2.
See Sanchez and Holder want to go upstairs trying to get the strikeout. Not quite up enough off the end of the bat though. And just enough to get it to the outfield grass in front of Judge for an RBI single. So rather than go down, they went up the ladder, paid the price.
Tommy Kahnle now up in the Yankee bullpen. And there's a strike to Sucre.
It's going to get some work in a hurry, as Tommy Kahnle's going to get hot in a hurry, if he can.
Ground ball, base hit through the left side. Stanton comes up throwing as they hold Ramos at third, so bases loaded. Still one out for the Rays, and Holder is having some trouble.
And the manager sends the pitching coach to the phone. You know he wants to make a change.
Well, now they are going to have Gary Sanchez go out and talk with Holder, which is just a stall tactic, as Brad Miller has been sent up to pinch hit for Daniel Robertson. Four-man bench for the Rays, all four left-handed hitters. They sat down against the lefty Montgomery, but now Cash can unload him against the Yankee bullpen.
Yeah, the fact that the catcher Ramos was running had to hold up at third, or it would have been another run.
And that'll do it, as Boone will signal for Tommy Kahnle. So Holder struggles. One run in, bases loaded, one out. Big moment for Kahnle coming up. Brought by Delta, more destinations from New York City than any other airline. Good things come to those who go. Delta, keep climbing. And by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Tommy Kahnle comes on with the bases loaded. One run in, one out. The Yankees holding on to a 4-2 lead. Well, Kahnle struggled against Toronto his last time out.
Aaron Boone going to change lanes quickly. With the bases loaded, still have a 2-run lead, going with the power arm. Looking for weak contact or strikeouts at this point.
So Brad Miller pinch hitting for Daniel Robertson, who had walked twice against Montgomery. Yankees play a double play depth. Gregorius shades up the middle. So he starts him with the change. 0-1.
And a good one. For a strike, either whether he swung or not.
And 2, so 89 to 96.
Two perfectly executed pitches to get to 0-2.
And the pitch. 1-2.
Another good block by Gary Sanchez in the dirt. Jason Shreve sighting.
Swing and a miss. Another great change by Tommy Kahnle.
Well, this is what Tommy Kahnle can bring when he's on his A game. First pitch changeup, outstanding. Up and in with cheddar, right on by. Down in the dirt, good block. And then right back to the bread and butter. Pulled the string. Miller's a good fastball hitter. You can see a little dive on the end of that changeup. Swinging over the top. 2 outs.
Denard Span will pinch it for Rob Refsnyder. Swing and a miss. You can see they're sitting dead red and really getting flummoxed by that change.
High quality location execution so far from Canely.
The 0-1. Fastball strike 0-2. So Canely trying to bounce back after a rough outing in Toronto. This hardy crowd, most of them standing. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Yankees lead 4-2, top of the 6th. Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Echeverria. He'll score. Judge is digging it out of the corner. Holding up at third is Sucre. It's a game-tying pinch hit, 2-run double for Span, and it's a 4-4 game.
No margin for error with the bases loaded. Tommy Canely made great pitches until there. On an 0-2, the changeup stays up. And Span hooks it down the line. And the only thing that saves the bases from being cleared is the fact that Sucre, the catcher, was running from first and has to hold up at third. Denard Span on an 0-2 changeup.
Right back to Tommy Canely. He'll retire Duffy, but not before the damage is done. The Yankees' vaunted bullpen springing leaks. They could not protect the 4-1 lead. It's now 4-4.
Jacoby Ellsbury started his season on the DL. He was eligible to come off on Thursday. However, it does not look like that is going to happen. Aaron Boone said earlier today he is dealing with a little bit of a hip issue. He has been shut down, will be shut down for the next couple of days. And right now, it looks like Aaron Hicks will actually make it back before Jacoby Ellsbury. Hicks told me that he was going to hit off a tee today, also do a little bit of throwing. He is extremely encouraged by the way that intercostal muscle feels. No pain there right now. So, guys, something to keep an eye on this outfield. Still depleted, as you see Giancarlo Stanton playing left, not DHing today.
That was amazing when Aaron Boone dropped that nugget during his pregame presser. Oh yeah, Ellsbury, something's wrong with his hip, so we've shut him down again. So that would be much needed help for the Yankees if they could get Ellsbury back, but it doesn't seem it's going to be the case anytime soon. So it's a 4-4 game. And now the Rays will turn it over to Austin Pruitt. He was supposed to start yesterday because the Rays essentially use a 4-man rotation early, and then they have a bullpen game, and that was going to be the bullpen game. Now Pruitt's specialty is he gets ahead in the count. 66% first pitch strike rate. That's 8th among all American League pitchers last year with 80 or more innings. And he throws a strike right there to Neil Walker.
It's a good scouting report right there.
Walker's walked and singled. Switch hitter batting from the left side. 0-2.
Yeah, Ellsbury was due to come off Thursday, right?
Yep,
He would have been eligible.
Did he go? Yes, he did. So Walker down on strikes. So Denard Span takes over and left, the big pinch hit double. Brad Miller takes over for Robertson at second base. So here is Brendan Drury. With the ski mask on, you can tell he's not in Phoenix, Arizona any longer. Mouth and nose covered, just the eyes peering out. Jumped on a 2-0 pitch and fouled it straight back. Drury hit the ball really hard in the second inning, and the weather probably held it up. Ref Snyder ran it down right in front of the warning track toward the left field line, then wrapped into a 6-4 force. Well, the Rays' 3 losses have all been by 1 run. Jose Alvarado, one of 2 left-handers in the Tampa Bay bullpen. Nine relievers. As Drury down on strikes. 7 righties and 2 lefties.
See, Pruitt also has a good slider to go with that good control. Excellent depth. Downward tilt. Gets Drury lunging.
Tyler Wade with a high fly ball right field. Gomez back on the track. At the wall, leaps, and he makes the play. Well, Wade used up all of the ballpark, but Gomez had other ideas. He took away a home run that was over the wall, perfectly timed for the final out of the 6th. We'll go to the 7th.
Really was, and you talked about it. The weather today, the swirling wind, it's picked up a little bit. We thought that was gone off the bat, but Gomez leaping high. Well timed too, as he's got it, and that's over and out, no doubt about it. Over the wall and bringing it back.
Kiermaier checks the swing, takes outside 1-0. Wade thought he had the go-ahead home run. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Can only smile about it. There's a strike. 1-1. Cadillac scoreboard. 4-4 here in the top of the 7th. Kiermaier did not like that call. Kiermaier, Gomez, and Crone here in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Well, later tonight, catch a showcase of some of the NBA's best young talent as Brooklyn battles the Philadelphia 76ers. Stream the game live at 7 on Fox Sports Go. We're joined in progress on Yes after Yankees coverage. Gomez has struck out twice and walked, so no contact day for him. But he just made his contribution in right. That picture tells a story of that sort of day. And both of these teams feel if you're going to play on a day like this, you want to win on a day like this. Joe West said he did not go. Swing and a miss. The fast pitch speed analytics brought to you by Fios, 94 miles an hour from Tommy Canely, that last pitch. Two and two.
Canely's third pitch there. Pretty good little slider. We don't see it that often from him. That one well thrown.
So the count full of 3-2.
Another good block by Sanchez in the dirt. Clearly moving much better. Much of that work of the offseason paying off. See Gary, even down on one knee, was able to bounce over and keep that ball in front. Gomez has always been a good fastball hitter, almost never gets off of it.
Swing and a miss. Is that slider again?
Yes. Case in point, Gary Sanchez knows it, so he calls the slider. You can see, even though it's right down the middle, Gomez commits. Reads fastball. Watch him open up. Looking to launch. So even a slider down the middle gets him out in front.
Here's C.J. Cron, who started the 3-run sixth inning with a double of right off of Jonathan Holder. Fouled away. Holder got the first out. He struck out Gomez looking. A double of Cron, a single of Ramos, an RBI single of Echeverria, a single of Sucre to load the bases. Then they brought in Canely. He struck out the pinch hitter Brad Miller, but then gave up a 2-run double to the pinch hitter Denard Span to tie the game. And Canely's still in there and has a 1-1 count on Cron. $14 earned runs in 15 innings for the Yankee bullpen. One and two. Chaz Rowe is up for the Tampa Bay Rays. He goes around, and Canely bounces back to strike out the side. And at the end of 6.5 innings of play, get up and stretch. The Yankees 4 and the Rays 4, but we're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America. All right, fans.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 4-7-0 Tampa Bay, 4-6-1 for the Yankees. Archer went 5. Montgomery also went 5. Denard Span, the big hit, pinch hit, game-tying 2-run double against Canely. And Didi Gregorius, the big hit for the Yankees, a 3-run home run in the third inning. It gave them a 4-1 lead, which the bullpen was not able to hold. So they'll have to score against the Rays bullpen to win this game. Austin Pruitt's still in. He worked a 1-2-3 sixth inning, and Tyler Austin will lead off. And there's a strike. Tyler Austin struck out twice against Chris Archer. You see the Cadillac scoreboard. 4-4, bottom of the 7th. The home opener for the New York Yankees. Oh and 2. Austin, the DH, batting 9th. So it's 9-1-2 in the order. Austin, Gardner, and Judge. Shift is on against Austin. 3 infielders on the left side. I learned something new this week, David, that if you're in a shift and you have a 7-0 lead in the 9th inning, you cannot bunt for a hit.
That's right.
That's Bush League if you do that. That's what I heard.
The old dreaded unwritten rules.
Line drive, left field. It's a base hit. Austin rounds first. He's going to go to second, and he'll make it there with a double to lead off the bottom of the 7th.
Well, we know Austin can hit a fastball. We saw him launch 2 in Toronto. But to stay back on this slider, good job. You can see the spinning slider. Got in the middle of the plate, but Austin did a good job of staying on it, keeping this ball fair. And then hustling on in for a stand-up double.
Very quickly to explain what we were talking about, Minnesota Twins had a 7-0 lead over the Orioles, 1 out in the 9th inning. They're shifting against the rookie catcher Chance Sisco. He lays down a bunt, and everybody in the Twins said it was Bush League, including Paul Molitor, which surprised me.
So the team down by 7 runs.
Supposed to give up.
Right, so yeah.
But the unusual thing is the team that was up 7 runs still decided to shift.
You know, when you're winning by 7 runs, the best thing you can do is just not say anything. Just take the win. All those unwritten rules and laws or whatever were made for sportsmanship, for etiquette, not to rub a win into the loser's face. Kind of like the 10-run rule in Little League, right? You don't want to embarrass your opponent. The team losing by 7 runs is not doing the embarrassing. It's usually the other way around.
All right, so the Yankees have an opportunity here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tyler Austin gets a big double. Here's Brett Gardner after a trip to the mound. So the Rays have 3 trips to the mound left. The Yankees have 5 left. Gardner's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Shows bunt. Pulls back. Count 1-0.
See Gardner pulling the bunt there. That wasn't a sacrifice bunt. That was more get the infield moving, bunting for a hit. Let's see what he does here.
So bunt again, takes inside. 2-0.
C.J. Cron just down Gardner's throat. Well, all that movement, you got to think about pulling it back and swinging the bat. Watch how far C.J. Cron is here. I mean, when I see infielders moving like that, as a hitter, you've got the option to pull back and slash. Anything on the ground is probably going to get through.
And a push bunt. Duffy fields. Throw to first, and it gets by. Miller could not scoop it. Austin scores to give the Yankees a 5-4 lead. And Gardner moves to second.
Well, you mentioned it before, Michael. Even the routine plays can be difficult. Possibly a wet turf, a cold day. Gardner does the right thing. If you're going to bunt, make the third baseman field it. And indeed, he does. The third baseman vacates the third base bag. You've got the second baseman covering, trying to stay on the bag rather than come off the bag and get the ball. Allowing the ball to scoot on by and a run to score.
So the Yankees have retaken the lead. They're up 5-4. Here's Aaron Judge. 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 1-0. So the way that scored, it's a sacrifice for Gardner, and then the runner scores on the E5, allowing Gardner to move to second.
Chalk one up for the old school, Michael.
Aaron Boone admitted in spring training there's not going to be much bunting. I mean, with all the power on this team, you don't want to lose base runners and outs. Judge 2 for 6 with a home run lifetime against Pruitt. And you also never know, Gardner might have done that on his own.
Possible. We'll have to ask afterwards. But well executed by Gardner.
Remember the post game, Meredith talks to everyone you need to hear from in the Yankee clubhouse. Bob, Jack, and John back in the studio, so stay tuned for all of that and get all the answers. Two-1. High fly ball, right field. Gomez toward the line, toward the seats, and it makes the seats out of play.
You can really see the wind pick up. That ball was in play for a long time and just got blown into the stands. Swirling wind here. Going to knock down Tyler Wade's ball too that Gomez made the play on.
Three and two as Gardner dives back to second.
A shocker, Michael. Another 3-2 count on Aaron Judge.
That one is blooped into center field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit in front of Kiermaier. Moving to third is Gardner. He had to hold up. So a blooped single for Judge.
Strong man. Hanging slider, backs up on him, and he hits it right off the label almost. Just fights it off. Muscles it into center. Gardner, all he can do is make sure it lands. With nobody out, don't take the chance. First and third now. And Stanton up and is happy that Chris Archer's out of the game.
And he's happy because he struck out 3 times against Archer, and he has struck out 5 times in 9 career at-bats against Archer. So now he gets a look at Austin Pruitt with runners on the corners, nobody out. Yankees lead 5-4 on the bottom of the 7th inning. His Yankee Stadium debut in pinstripes. Way outside. 1-0. Has 1 hit and 1 at bat against Pruitt lifetime with 2 runs batted in. Two and 0. Two one.
Pruitt not going to give in. Slider just off and got the call. Good job by Stanton. Not a good pitch to hit. A 2-0 count. You're going to get a fastball? No, you're going to get a slider just off and get the call.
The 2-1. 2-2.
That's why they call it backwards pitching, Michael. It's just when you don't think you're going to get a fastball, you get one. Nothing but breaking balls. The fastball to 2-2. Probably back to the breaking ball here.
Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Stanton. 1 away.
I would have been struck out too. I'm sitting on slider, and you can see fastball way off. Slider misses 2-0. Slider right there gets the call. Right on by with a fastball middle in, and then up the ladder. Right where the catcher wanted it, above the belt. Excellent comeback from Pruitt after falling down 2-0.
So a golden sombrero for Giancarlo Stanton in his home debut. Here's Didi Gregorius. Double, run scored, 3-run home run, and a walk. And a strike. Here's a home run in the 3rd inning.
Probably the one pitch that Chris Archer wants back. As you see, kind of yanks it across, down and in, trying to go away. Didi with a line drive bullet.
Chase that pitch in the count 0-2.
You can see Michael Pruitt's got starter stuff. And then, you know, Tampa Bay is going to go with the 4-man rotation. Well, this guy's probably the closest thing to their 5th starter right now. Good change up there. He's got 3 quality pitches and good control.
The 0-2. Drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! Another 3-run home run for Didi Gregorius. And the Yankees lead 8-4. That was a well-deserved curtain call, as Didi has driven in 6 of the 8 runs.
The legend continues to grow, and they keep trying to beat him with fastballs, and he's always ready. This one launched in the second deck, rather.
1-1 on Sanchez.
Short and quick, and then the flip. Hit it and flip it.
Well, that is Didi's 7th extra base hit of this young season. That ties A-Rod for 2007, when he also had 7 extra base hits. Most by a Yankee in the first 5 games of the season. Let's watch it on StatCast, how it traveled. Pretty nice exit velocity, 380 feet into the second deck. Also 6 ribbies for Didi, ties a career high. He did it against the Braves in 2015 when he was with Arizona. With the Yankees scoring their 6th run, you get 50% off all regular menu price pizzas tomorrow at papajohns.com. Just use promo code Yankee6 tomorrow at papajohns.com for 50% off all pizzas. So a 3-2 count on Sanchez. Gary is 0 for 3 today. Yankees lead 8-4. So the offense has picked up the bullpen. Deep drive. Left field. Span back. Overran it, came back to make the play. The wind took hold of that. That was probably in the seats. And Span ended up making the play because the wind took it past him and he had to back up.
That is absolutely correct. His Span is almost completely fooled by this. What an adjustment, and then almost a bobble too. Hit the brakes.
Well, he knew he didn't get it. Yeah.
Yes, excuse me, Michael. Yes, he did. You could tell.
If you're looking for the Nets battling the 76ers, it's streaming now on Fox Sports Go. We'll join the game as soon as we wrap up Yankees coverage on Yes. How about this? 2 home runs and 6 ribbies in a game by a Yankees shortstop. It's only been done twice. By Everett Scott in 1923 against the Senators, and by Roy Smalley in 1982 against the Royals in Kansas City. And then there's Didi. Swing and a miss. Walker down on strike. So what an opening day here at home for Didi Gregorius. In the 3rd, the cleanup hitter cleans up with a 3-run home run. Then here in the 7th, He jacks another one. Another 3-run blast. And the Yankees lead this 8-4. Second game of this short series. Our coverage will begin at noon with Audi batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame. It's all right here on Yes, and also streaming on Fox Sports Go. How about agony and ecstasy in one picture? Look at Sucre. Look at Didi.
Great shot.
David Robertson, the new Yankee pitcher, and he deals a strike to Wilson Ramos. Well, there's the star of the game, the Hyundai scoreboard. You see 8 runs for the Yankees. He's accounted for 7 of them. Scored 1, drove in 6. Yankees lead 8-4. And there's a strike to Ramos.
And the DD chants throughout the stadium today, growing louder and louder.
Over the last 25, 30 years, Yankees have been very fortunate in replacing icons. Mattingly was followed by Martinez. Jeter followed by Didi. Ground ball to Gregorius. He stays with a tough hop. And more Didi cheers. Now, speaking of Didi, his teammates were really busting him. They let him take the field alone. Well, where are you guys, man? Pretty cool. Sky the other way and out of play.
It's, you know, it's one of those things, Michael. You know, how do you build team chemistry? Well, it's easy when you're winning, right? I mean, some people think chemistry is overrated, just when everything falls into line. But no, personalities matter. Working on those sorts of things together, they matter. A lot easier. Now, granted, obviously, when you're winning in a game like this, Didi Gregorius has had the type of day he's had today, and yeah, that's easy to say, but over the course of a long season, these sorts of things that you work on now, they pay off later when you do go through a hard time.
Fly ball, right center, and Gardner cuts in front of Judge for the second out. That's the center fielder's ball. But you don't like the size disadvantage there.
Well, good job by Judge holding up. And yes, he is calling it. Think he hurt him?
Today he might have. Popped up right side. Walker in foul territory makes the play and leans into the screen for the final out. Robertson works a 1-2-3 eighth inning. The catch and the lean as we go to the bottom of the eighth. Yankees up 8-4. Mason postgame, our studio team brings you highlights, analysis, and a recap of today's home opener festivities. Plus, they'll set the table for tomorrow's game 2 with the Rays. It's only on Yes. Hyundai scoreboard, 8-4 Yankees over the Rays. Brandon Drury pops it up. Catch is made in right field. Carlos Gomez. Now, this is from our friends at Stats Inc. Didi Gregorius is the second Yankee to hit 2 home runs in the home opener. The only other time it's been done was by Russ Derry on April 17th of 1945 against the Red Sox, and that was the season opener as well as the home opener. And you saw Aroldis Chapman warming.
So we got an Everett Scott back in 1923, and we got Russ Derry in 1945.
There's a strike to Tyler Wade. One and one.
Now Roy Smalley, I've heard of, 1982.
And did it against your Royals.
Yes. Roy Smalley, yeah, I remember him.
Young David was probably watching that game.
He was, yes. 1982, I actually was in A-ball, the Sally League. Low A-ball, sleeping on the floor with 4 other roomies.
Well, they announced the attendance is the paid attendance, 46,776. It's a sellout, but obviously the weather has kept a lot of people away. But still, the people that were here, how about stout, hardy fans?
Yes, diehards.
And they've watched a fun game as Wade works a 1-out walk. Got to give Tyler Austin credit. He started that 4-run rally in the 7th inning with that inning-opening double to left field. Got off to a nice start. And as we said earlier, when Aaron Boone was asked if Austin's just a placeholder, he said no. The door's open. You could kick it in now. You can make your statement. You could win playing time, no matter who comes back off the DL. One and 0. Now, one fun fact about Everett Scott, who's one of 3 Yankee shortstops to have 2 home runs and 6 ribbies in a game. He actually was the player who had the consecutive game record before Gehrig. He had played 1,307 straight games. So that's where you might know that name. Quick turnaround for these two teams, as we mentioned. Tomorrow's game, a 1:05 start. It's supposed to be a lot warmer tomorrow.
I'll believe it when I see it. But you're right, the weather forecast is a little bizarre. Warmer and then again maybe colder over the weekend. So it was tricky, always a tough decision on whether they'll call a game, Michael, or not. I think you and I both were of the mind that there's no way they're going to play a game today. There's just no way when you got to the ballpark today. Weather's for rain tomorrow too, possibly, and then over the weekend more bad weather.
It's kind of amazing that it has held up the way it has. I mean, there's been misting, it's been constant, but never the downpour that was predicted. And the Yankees probably saw that on their radar and said, let's give it a go. Well, Aaron Judge ran on a 3-1 with 1 out earlier in the game. Wade has a healthy lead at first, and that's why Pruitt chased him back. And Tyler Austin works a walk. And there's Kevin Cash. He's going to go to the bullpen. That'll do it for Pruitt as he leaves 2 on with 1 out.
Next Tuesday at 11, actress Sarah Jessica Parker sits down with Michael Kay to discuss some of her iconic roles. Then on Wednesday, April 25th, don't miss a revealing conversation with Yes's own Al Leiter. Catch them both only on Yes.
Of those 2 guests, one really likes you. It's not Leiter.
You know how I feel.
I know. I told SJP you felt that way. So Sergio Romo takes over, and he will face Brett Gardner. A good year last year between the Dodgers and the Rays. Gardner laid down that sac bunt that was thrown away by Duffy that gave the Yankees the 5-4 lead in the 7th, and then became 8-4 with the 3-run home run by Gregorius.
I'll say this, Michael. Sergio Romo's got some big league sock game going on right now. Those are nice. Got the Rays on the side. You wore a pair like that on the charter the other night. They look similar colors.
Without the Rays logo, yeah. Ground ball to first. Safe at first is Gardner, bases loaded.
And Romo came up slow, like maybe he hurt himself, and Brett Gardner says, I got your head first dive. Don't tell me not to. I smell a hit. You see Romo did trip over the bag a bit there and got up slowly.
Did you see how quickly Gardner removed his hand after he touched first? Because, I mean, that's where an injury could happen too. You get spiked. So they're out to look at Romo. He'll touch the bag with his hand and then pull his hand right back.
Defiantly, Gardner. You know, that is one time when a slide makes sense, when there's a convergence like that. Sometimes pitchers will get there late and they won't have time to make the U-turn and they'll run across the bag. And there are times for a slide into first base. And Gardner, for the smelling the hit, outran him.
Here's Judge, bases loaded. 2 hits and a walk today. Pitch outside. I guess we could start saying tonight. Along with Meredith Moragovitz and David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay. We thank you for spending part of your day with us here on the Yes Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, Yankees lead the Rays 8-4.
Romo has been featuring a frisbee slider for his entire career. For right-handed batters, hanging in there, very difficult.
The 2-1. 3-1. There's no place to put Judge. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Stanton's on deck.
Excellent patience from Aaron Judge.
Just clipped the outside corner, 3-2. Stays alive.
Nothing but sliders the whole at bat. Judge fought that one off. That was maybe the best one he threw, right on the borderline of a strike, too close to take. And the man of the hour right there, Didi Gregorius, in the hole. And on deck.
And he walked in to force a run. So Judge works the walk. Crossing the plate is Wade. Yankees lead 9-4.
After the Yankees, the left fielder, number 27, Giancarlo Stanton. Number 27.
Here's Stanton. 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts. Bases loaded, 1 out. 0-1. And the pitch. 0-2. Chasing Gardner back. And the 0-2.
One of the reasons, Michael, I believe Stanton wanted to come to a winner. As you see, this slider is off. So a good take for a guy who's got 4 strikeouts to take that pitch. Still a good eye, still maintaining a little bit of patience there. But on a day where he struck out 4 times, the Yankees have 9 runs on the board. You have protection in this lineup. It's not all on him anymore.
Swing and a miss, and Stanton, for the first time in his career, strikes out 5 times in a game. And how about this crowd? That's a little harsh, booing him with the 5 strikeouts in a game in which the Yankees are leading 9-4. And that's going to bring up Didi Gregorius. So here is Didi. A couple of 3-run home runs, a double, and a walk. Last time a Yankee went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, it was Andy Phillips on May 2nd of 2005 at Tampa Bay. Last time a Yankee had a 5 strikeout game but not 0 for 5 was David Adams in 2013 in September at Houston, the 0-1.
Well, one thing that this lineup kind of settles, I think, for the immediate future is the splitting up of the righties, and Didi Gregorius made a huge difference today in splitting up Judge, Stanton, and Sanchez, especially with a tough righty on the mound like a Chris Archer.
One and two. If you're looking for the Nets game against the 76ers, we want to remind you it's streaming now on Fox Sports Go. Now we're going to join the game as soon as we wrap up the Yankees coverage here on Yes. So Nets Sixers right after the Yankees coverage on Yes. Right now you can get it streaming on Fox Sports Go. With one swing, Didi has an opportunity to have a 10 RBI game. Looped into shallow left. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. 2 more runs scored. 2 more ribbies for Didi Gregorius. 8 on the day. What a week on a Tuesday night as the Yankees lead 10-4. I think that's his first single of the year, David.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. You can reach out and break your bat and swing like that and get it to fall in front of Denard Span on the short hop and pick up RBI 7 and 8 on the day.
A lot of reason to smile. Now, Didi has said he never will tweet out emojis about himself. He says it's not about him. How does he avoid not tweeting about himself today, at least including himself?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. He'll give Jordan Montgomery some props.
Well, the 8 RBIs, most since April 26th of 2005 when Alex Rodriguez had 10, and that was against the Angels. 3 home runs and 10 ribbies. Swing and a miss. Sanchez down on strikes. The ball gets away from Sucre, and he'll flip it to first for the final out. But the Yankees get 3 more runs, and Didi gets 2 more ribbies. 8 RBIs in the home opener. It's all about Didi. 11-4 Yanks. The home opener for the Yankees, 11 runs, 8 of them driven in by Gregorius. 3 of them scored by Gregorius. A couple of nice plays in the field as well. Most RBIs in a game for a Yankee shortstop ever in their history. So he's got one for the memory books. New Yankee pitcher is Chasen Shreve.
Strong Didi chants in the stands, too.
Miller fouls one off. And this is the first appearance this year for Chasen Shreve.
Yankees with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Had Shreve get up and Chapman sit down.
How about this stat? This will amaze you. This is from Stats again. 8 RBIs is the most by a player in their team's home opener ever. Every team, every game ever played in MLB, opening day, no one's ever had 8 RBIs.
Ever, ever, ever?
Ever. And a day. Swing and a miss. Miller down on strikes. Remember when they got Giancarlo Stanton, Didi sent out what was a funny tweet on December 9th of last year. He got the rock with the eyebrow up. Hey, Skip, am I still batting 4th? And that was as if to say, I know I'm not batting 4th anymore. He might be batting 4th, even if Greg Bird comes back and is healthy in a couple of weeks or whatever. Why would you move him the way he's hitting now?
Not so funny anymore, right?
No.
Well, Didi had 25 home runs last year, starting the season on the DL. So, getting better and better every year. What is the ceiling? How good is he going to end up being? He's already in the top 10 of all the shortstops in the game. Now, does he get in the Correa and Lindor conversation? Yeah, he's heading that way.
And with the position re-switch, you got to also include Machado in that.
Machado back in the shortstop conversation. But Didi Gregorius, wow. How good is he going to be? We know that his swing is tailor-made for this ballpark. Lightning quick on the inner half of the plate.
Well, Correa last year, 315, 24, and 84. Didi, 287, 25, and 87. Lindor, 273, 33, and 89. Remember, Didi missed the first month of the season, and Machado was playing third base last year.
I mean, he has to be in that conversation now.
Swing and a miss. Span down on strikes. And the Rays are down to their final out. Aaron Boone looking for his first win in pinstripes. The first 2 wins came in the Road Grays. This is his first game managed here at Yankee Stadium. And he's 1 out away. His family, friends flew in from Scottsdale to watch this, so they're an out away from being pretty happy tonight. Duffy fouls it away. Yankees led 4-1 going into the 6th inning, but the Rays scored 3. But then the Yankees answered with 4 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th, and they lead 11-4. Top of the 9th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. This should do it. Pop-up. Judge makes the play, and the Yankees win the home opener by a score of 11-4. So congratulations in the dugout. Aaron Boone gets his first victory at home, and Didi Gregorius gets one for the memory books. What a game for Didi. Made a couple of nice plays in the field. The big 3-run home run that gave them a 4-1 lead. Another 3-run home run, and then the bloop 2-run single. That's a pretty good day.
Yeah, you know, and Chris Archer was on today. He had his good stuff. And Didi Gregorius is the one who derailed him. Set this whole day up. Aaron Boone, you can tell your family that, yeah, it does get warm here in New York. To the kids from Scottsdale, yeah, summer will arrive eventually. But a nice first day for Aaron Boone, and pointing to his family up in the stands. Hope they brought some warm coats.
Well, he's got to feel pretty good about things, and got to feel pretty good about his shortstop. And in a moment, Meredith Marakovits will talk with Didi, and that moment is now. Meredith?
Thanks, Michael. Didi, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. What does it feel like to contribute in that way in the home opener?
I mean, it's not just for me, you know, it's contributed to the team, and a guy's got on base for me, so I think that was something good, you know, and I got some good pitches to hit, and I hit them out, and, you know, for us, winning is everything, so that's the only thing to worry about, you know. As long as everybody gets some base for each other, that's all we count for.
You look at the home runs, both coming off of fastballs. Do you hope pitchers continue to try to challenge you with fastballs?
I mean, they have to throw it at some point, but I'm just going to get ready to hit, you know, it doesn't matter what the count is, and always ready to hit and look for a pitch in the zone.
The 8 RBIs you managed today, the most for a shortstop ever in Yankees history. Is that meaningful, knowing some of the talented players that have played here?
Yes, you know, it's meaningful, but at the end, you know, it's not about me. It's not about the records. You know, it's all about this team that we can do for now with all these guys. That's the only thing I worry about. As long as everybody's contributing and be everything good for the team, that's everybody's going to be happy with it. 2
curtain calls, several Didi chants. Do you enjoy that?
I mean, yeah, it's actually the first time, so you know, it's actually really nice for me. But like I said, it's not about me. It's about everything, and it's the team.
Team first guy. Didi, thanks for the time.
All right, thank you for having me.
Guys, you got to love it.
Thank you, DD, and thank you, MM. So I believe him. I don't think that's just nonsense. He really believes that. He's a team guy. Pretty amazing game for DD as the Yankees win the home opener. We'll be back with more from the stadium right here on Yes.